everyone. This is the Kaburungu live show. We are live right now. Thank you for tuning in. I'm very sorry that we have taken this much long because technical issues have power went off a little bit, and also I'm not gonna blame the power, but also the cameras and everything. They have interrupted our live show today, but other than that, we are doing okay. Thank you for tuning in. Wherever you are tuning in, if you're coming in and this is your first day or first time here on the Kaburung Show Live, I do welcome you and ask you to subscribe. Also, share this video to your friends. Okay. With the technical issues, we are using some things that might be a little bit not as usual, but again, bear with us so we can do this. Thank you so very much. And on this beautiful day, I bring you episode number 12. It's a beautiful day here in Kansas, and we are going to be glad in it. We are going to be happy, enjoy in this beautiful day, no matter what's going on. But we know the Lord is with us, and will always be with us, and will always bless us. So thank you so very much. And on this beautiful day, I have my very first guest, which is my beautiful wife, Aliane Kamikazi. I'm gonna let her introduce later on, but as of now, let's just recap of what we are going to talk about, all the things that I would want to learn from this video. If you have watched my previous episode, the pre-episode, I spoke a little bit about family values. Okay, and in that episode, I spoke about how we can support each other. Okay, husband and wife, how they can support each other, and also I did an episode where I explained why husbands don't support their wife, or why should husbands support their wives. So if you have listened and watched those videos, we are going to do a recap of that, and we are going to learn a little bit more of. I'm not a woman, but I am with woman right now, and she's going to explain to us, how being a wife can bring challenges in someone's life, or especially being a pastor's wife, and being a mother, especially mother of multiple children. So um, as all of you know, some of you might know, I am married to one beautiful wife and have six children as of now. Of course, we do plan to have more if God willing. But again, we do know that God is always on our side, and He will always bless us in many ways. And again, if we are going to be able to afford them, yes, we can continue having them. But if we see that, okay, we're not able to afford this, then yeah. However, God is going to guide us, we are going to follow that guidance. So thank you so very much for coming in. May God bless you where you are. Again, if you are just tuning in, let me ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are watching this on Facebook, hop on YouTube, okay? Kaburung Show Live. Hop on YouTube, subscribe, and share this video. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. And if you have not subscribed, also do subscribe so we can support each other in this journey. So let's welcome our guest, Aliane Kamikazi. That's her name, I already say, but she's going to introduce herself in depth, so we can know more about her. Welcome, my beautiful wife. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Sorry, you should have been in the same room with me right now, but again, the cameras and the audios, uh, it wasn't easy. I wanted to be with you in this room where I am right now, but it's okay. We can still communicate through this kind of complicated technology. But yeah, I do welcome you to our show, the Kaburung Show Live. So thank you so very much to tune in with us. And thank you for allowing me to host you, to be my very first guest. I wanted this honor to be yours because you are my wife and I love you. and I wanted to. I know I have other guests coming up in the future, and I have scheduled them actually, and they might also be watching right now. So, but I wanted you to be my very first guest, and here you are. So, thank you for coming in.
Hello, everyone. I would like to say it's an honor to be here today with you guys. As he said, my name is Aliane Kamikazi.
Yes.
Yes, actually, Aliane K. Kaburungu. He missed that
There you
one.
go. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can make that mistake.
Yes, so I'm a wife, also a mother. I'm married to this handsome man who gave me this special invite on this channel. And God has blessed that it was with the 6 kids, and we are getting ready to welcome our seventh one, which we
Oh
are
yeah,
so excited
absolutely.
about. Yeah,
Yes.
sounds a lot, but to us it's different. To us, it feels like we just started.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a blessing to have the kids around us. I feel like empty when they're not around, and I thank God for that.
That's
Yeah.
good. All right. So for some of the people watching right now, um, they might know me that I'm a pastor. I do pastor church here in Wichita, Kansas, and you are a pastor's wife. Let me start with the question. Let me start with this question. What are some challenges that comes with being a pastor's wife?
Being a pastor's wife, it's an easy role to do or to work on if you understand what you're supposed to be doing. Also, it can be challenging if you don't understand what you're called for.
Yes.
For me, I will say it's something that I was not expecting to become. And but meeting my husband, he was a man who loved preaching. He was always here and there doing God's work, doing ministry work. And sometime I would go with him. That was before he became a pastor. But at that moment, I feel like one day, even though I don't think this gonna happen, I feel like am I gonna become a pastor's wife according to what my husband was doing. And the day came, I became one, and I had to accept God's call to become a pastor's wife. It can be challenging, but with the God's help and the God's support and a lot of prayers, yes, I found out that with prayer, anything can happen and anything can be easy for anybody. If you pray and trust God, and He's always there to lead you. And as my role as a pastor's wife, I believe that I'm here to help him, to support him, to be his helper. And because I'm the one who understand more about him, who understand when he's down, who understand when he feel discouraged. Because God's work can be a lot of work, and it can sometimes it can feel like you cannot go on. But I know my job is to support him and encourage him to move, to go on, to do more. Yeah. And also being a mom, a wife, a pastor's wife, it's not easy for anyone, but trusting God and let him lead you, use you, control you, it's what's making me move on every
So
day.
if I
And
may interrupt you a little bit,
yeah.
let's say someone who's watching or who's going to watch this in the future, and then they are women, and they are afraid of their husband becoming a pastor, and now probably the husband has told them about being a pastor, and she said, no, we can't do this, I'm not ready to be a pastor's wife. What can you tell that woman that is afraid to become a pastor's wife?
For me, it's scary a little bit if you have not done it. You feel like you can do it. But because I was a singer, just a singer before, but standing in front of people kind of gave me little bit courage. But being a pastor's wife taught me a lot of stuff. It have helped me to grow stronger spiritually. I was a singer, but I was not a preacher. I mean, I was never standing in front of people and preach, but starting the first day, second day, it became easy. And even in this moment, I feel like it's easy, but you just have to let God use you and answer
Yes,
his call. That way you can have the confidence in you to do what you're called for.
that is good. And if let's say you mentioned something about supporting your husband when your husband is a pastor. What are some you probably have spoke about that. Give us about your experience. What have you seen that was challenging to you to support your husband? Sometimes let's say, just you don't have to be specific, but some things that have happened and then you struggled to help to support and help your husband because maybe you didn't have much experience or you didn't know what to do, or you didn't know the right decision to make. Do you have any remembrance of that?
Mostly when you have when he has a ministry trip, let's say he's not around. That
Yeah.
means me as a wife, I have to take over. I have
Okay.
to stay with the church. I cannot sit there and they be like, "Oh, he's not around." That means I can't do anything. I have no experience. When he's not around, I know and I understand that it's my turn to take over, and it's not easy, but we always have to learn new things. We have to understand that he's not always gonna be there. So that was a kind of challenging because I feel like I'm in control when he's not around. But when he's around, I feel like he can do it. He got it. But taking over the church when you're not around, that was one of the challenging I got in order to support you.
Yeah, I'm not around. It's everybody's looking up to you. It can be challenges, but let me say this: um, supporting a husband, if you are watching this and your husband is not a pastor, and some in the future they decide to become a pastor, it's it's not going to be an easy road, right? It's not going to be an easy road. I'm not a woman. I'm speaking from a man perspective, but I live with a woman, and I know how this challenge. I know how this challenging it can be, because especially if you are leading people who have different opinions, different ideas, and different way of looking things, and they're not gonna respect the wife as they respect the husband. So the wife needs to stand firm. If you are going to to smell any kind of you know dishonest or disobedience or any sort of things that you might not like, meanwhile your husband is not around, it requires patience, it requires courage, it also requires discipline. Okay, it's not about you, it's about the ministry, it's about what you have in you that God has put in you. So as long as you focus on that one, trust me, everything will be okay. And most of the time, we focus on what people are saying, on how people see me, how people look at me. Okay, what people is talking about me. It's not about that. It's about the ministry, and it's about that position that God has given you. Even though you're not the pastor, being a pastor's wife is pretty much being a pastor. Okay, because as my wife mentioned, if the husband is not around, you are able. Yes, there are some other leaders who are going to do this and that and that. But again, if things go wrong, the husband is not going to focus more on what other leaders did. He's going to focus more on the wife. What happened here? Okay, that is the first person that I'm going to ask if I come back. Okay, yes, I'm going to ask my other leaders out there, but my wife is going to be the first person that I'm going to ask when I come back if things have gone in a different way. So and I do commend her, and I do appreciate what she has done and what she's doing in our church. It's a tremendous work. It's not easy task, but it is a great It's a great thing that she does. That if I put myself in her shoes, I don't know what I would do. I'm not a woman, and I'm not ever going to be. But I lead women's, and I live with one. I married one of them. But I can see their struggles. I can see where they are going. And the other thing that I want to speak to men listening to me right now, me too, I struggled in this. I struggled in this, supporting your woman in the ministry. Okay. If both of you are not supporting to each other, she's not there to support you only, but you are also there to support her. Because if she does not have that support, she's going to struggle. She's going to feel alone. Okay. She's going to feel like she's isolated. She's going to feel like she's somewhere out there in the jungle by herself, and she has to do this, she has to do that. And other women or other people in the church, they are going to respect her according to how you respect her, right? The respect you give to her is what other, church members, women and men, going to give to her. So it's a struggle, because as the pastors, we are more focused on the church, which is okay, But again, our ministry, our first ministry, is going to be our home, wife and children. Those are our first church. Everybody else can leave, but trust me, your wife is not gonna leave you. Your kids are not going to leave you. They are supposed to be your number one ministry. Okay, because the ministry starts at home. Preaching starts at home. Discipline starts at home. Everything that you do at a church starts at home. Everything that I preach at the church starts at home. We really struggle in this. We are human. We are not going to always be perfect in what we do. We are going to struggle in one way or the other. But again, ministry starts home. Men listening to me, and you are pastors, and I have a lot of friends who are pastors. Ministry starts at home. If you fail your home, if you fail your family, if you fail your children, if you fail your wife, you are going to fail the church. You are going to fail your ministry. But if your family stands firm, if you and your wife support one another, and your children are behind you, and the ministry is going very well at home, trust me, no matter what's going to happen in the church, you will always have a ministry, because you have a ministry that you have built at home that is not going to be destroyed by anybody else other than you and your wife. Okay, so always remember that as you minister to other people. So let me go ahead and ask you this. You are pastor's wife. We're gonna come back to that, but you are also a mom. You are a mother, and as we have spoken, we have six children. Okay, and what what is it that you have struggled with? First of all, before we go back to the church, what is it that you have struggled with, um, taking care of the children, and also I'm speaking discipline wise, getting them to know God, getting them to obey God, getting them to be involved in the church, getting them first of all to be involved in a home, home chores, and obeying parents, this respecting us, respecting you as a mother, and respecting me as a father. What's the challenge of becoming a mother to those children, not just a mother of home, but also a mother to the ministry?
Being a mother and a pastor's wife can be hard as well with the kids like mine. 6 of them, it's not less, it's a lot, yes. But I would say it's not so hard for me because I have a husband who supports me. And in order to discipline them, we are not the kind of parents where parents say, "Hey, don't do that," and another say, "Do this." We
Yeah,
are always supporting each other. If
we
daddy
have to be
said
on one
no,
page.
yes. If daddy says no, they always have to know that even mommy gonna say no. So helping each other, it's helping me to discipline these kids. If they know this is wrong, they have to know that none of us will support them. And what we are doing to discipline them, I'm trying to get them to get involved in the church work, two, three, four of them are singers. They are a good singer. I'm so proud of them. And it was not easy at the beginning. And before they started joining the kids choir, it was hard. They were not interested in church at all. If you take them, they will even ask you, when are we going home or why we are here. But since we got them involved in singing and praise God, they are so exciting to do more God's work. And
Yes.
that's teaching them more about respecting God, and them respecting God, it give them a chance to learn and understand what they're supposed to do and then not do. Even at home, they always have to know the way I am. My kids cannot come from school and tell me my classmate did this, have this. I always tell them you are who you are. You're not going to school to learn what your other classmates are doing or what they have. Mostly my kids, starting on how they dress, how they talk, how they communicate. I tell them, when I hear them saying a word that it's not supposed to be spoken in my house or outside, I'm like, have you heard me saying it? Or have you
Right.
seen me wearing what you're telling me that you want to wear? Have you seen me doing my hair the way you're asking me to do? So that's your hair, and that's your friend's hair. That's your friend's. That's the way they are raised. But it doesn't mean that you're gonna have to live how your friends live. So we discipline our kids according to God's work, according to the Bible. We want them to understand what they are supposed to do so they can grow understanding God and spiritual
Right.
wise. Yeah.
So to be clear, it's not about the what other kids are doing are wrong, but it's about what we are doing here in our family, right? We don't we okay. It's not we are telling them, okay, look, those kids are doing something wrong. That's what they have decided. That's the way they live their lives, and we live our own life on our in our own way. This is the values of this family, and that's the mistake of a lot of people do. And when you allow your children to kind of bring other cultures in your family, every family should have their own culture. This is how we are going to grow up. This is how our family is going to be. This is how other people are going to know us. Okay, then we know the Kaburungu family. That this is their behavior, this is their culture, this is how they dress, this is what they do, and this is how they speak, and this is who we are. It's not about what other people are doing is wrong or right. It's more focused on what are we doing in our own family, and they need to know more of our own family rather than other families, because if they learn more about what other people are doing, they're gonna lose the value of this family. And that's where a lot of our families are losing our children, because again we are more focused on the business, more focused on the money, more focused on work, but we forgot to also sit down, and the kids need to know who is Kaburung, okay, and what is this family, what does this family what do we believe in, what are the values of this family, hold dear. So they grow up knowing that, and they're gonna carry on that lineage, because again, it's something they have grew up knowing, something they were taught since they were young. The Bible tells me, teach a child the way they should go, they will never lose that way, they will never lose it. If you begin at the young age, they will never lose it. And having, as she said, having all parents on one page. Okay, having all parents on one page matters. It matters both. I even mentioned this in one of the videos, in one of the episodes that I did. A child should not like one parent more than the other. Should not know, if I go to mom, she's gonna say yes. Okay, if I go to dad, she's gonna say yes. All parents should be on the same page, knowing that, if no matter where they are gonna go, they're gonna get the same answer. If I don't have an answer right away, I tell them, hold on, let me speak to your mom about it, or let me speak to your dad about it, and then we will go about it. afterwards, or I would give you a form answer after I hear from you, what your mom had said. So that way we all know what the decision is. Even if they come back to me, I've already know what I'm going to answer to my child. So I don't know if you have anything to add on that one before we go to another question.
The only thing I can add on that, disciplining the kids, it's easier when two parents are always on the same page. But if you are doing it on your own, I understand. If you're a single mother, I understand it. But if it's a woman and a husband, both the parents are together, it's always better to work together in order to discipline the kids. That way they can have the same rules from both of you, both sides. And that's what's been helping me around. Yeah.
Yeah, on one of my, I think there was a video on Facebook. I saw a comment from one of my fans when I mentioned that I have 6 kids and 7 on the way, and he commented that I'm having a lot of kids for no reason. Okay, so for you, it's why so many kids?
For me, I have always loved kids, even way before I had my first one. I grew up in a big family. My parents had 11 kids who are alive now, and I'm the 10th. And the love, the unity we had at home, I feel like I also want a family who's gonna always be around me, just the same
Yeah.
way I had. And it was not only my choice or my husband's choice. I found out that he's also interested in having more kids. He loves kids as well, just like me. Some people might think that I'm having a lot of kids just because I'm a pastor's wife. No, it's not like that. I love kids myself. I really love my kids. And I think God has favored me the way I give a birth. I cannot say that it's easy, but comparing with some other women, it's not their choice. And it's not also because I'm perfect. I'm not one of the people who are staying in labor for 2 to 3 hours. Um, I don't know. I thank God for that. I really have a good delivery. It doesn't usually take a long time like others, and I feel like me having a lot of kids is only my own choice. It's also God's choice, and He's supporting me on that. And we try
Yeah.
to do whatever we can to make sure that we take care of those kids as just the way he said you have to make sure that you can afford the kids. Yes, we're working hard in taking care of them. We make sure they have what they need. We make sure that they have a home. We make sure that they have the attention, enough attention from us the parents, because sometimes you might have a lot and you don't have the time for them. My
It's gonna
husband
be
is,
chaos. Yeah.
yeah, my husband is very, very busy man. Very busy, I would say. You cannot see him sitting down doing nothing. But even though he's busy, he always try to find the time and spend the time with us. Take the kids out on a vacation, making sure the family is happy. We are not just
Yeah.
having a lot of kids that we can't even afford, that we can't even take care of. We do always try to find the time and spend the time with our kids so they can also get to know us. Same way that we will love to have a good relationship with our kids. So, yeah, I love kids and it's not by force. We both agreed on that and we are happy on that. And we thank God for His support. Everything's going well, nothing goes wrong just because we have a lot of kids. We manage to do our daily work out. When we go out to work or at home, we make sure that it works very well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, one thing. It's having kids. It's good, but it's also loud. You gotta be ready to live in a loud environment. It can be loud. If they talk at the same time, screaming at the same time, yelling at each other at the same time. If you are not a patient person, do not have a lot of kids. Okay, because you're gonna feel like you are in a football, field where it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be, and it's just gonna, it's always going to be loud, and which is okay. It's not in a bad way, but again, when they grow up, it's going to be very, um yeah, it's gonna be very rewarding. And one thing that I'm thankful, one of the reason why that I want to continue doing this is because, as she has mentioned that she has easy labor. Okay, when we go to hospital, we only spend like what, 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes to 3 minutes, and boom, that kiddo is out.
The doctors
So
doesn't even have time to get ready for me.
yeah, yeah, we just get into that door. 2 minutes, okay, the baby's coming out, and then everybody start getting busy, and 3, 4, 5 minutes, and whatever, if it's a dude or a girl, is out. And so it has been an easy, and I'm thankful to God that it has been an easy road for us. That it's you also want to make sure your woman can do that. If some women are not able to do that because some health issues, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with having 2, 3 kids if that's all you can have, depending on how healthy you are, and because you want to make sure the woman is able to do that, you know without any issues, without any health issues that can come out after that. So what are some challenges of having a lot of kids, though?
Um, I face a hard time when they get sick,
Yeah,
cause also, cause when you have one is sick, you have to make sure that you make a time for that little kid who is sick.
because you
But
also
I,
know there's another one who's going to get sick. All of them
yes,
eventually they're gonna get sick.
yeah. So,
Hmm.
and another thing, mostly I watch more the little one, like my 2 year one. Every time I get home, I see others, they are fine, but I make sure that I see that one. And the others be like, why do you love him more? That's the challenges I get. They don't understand that he's young, that I have to watch him more than the older ones who can take care of themselves. And
Yeah,
as he said, kids can be loud. They are very, very loud. But the funny thing is this, if my kids are sitting down quiet, I start feeling like they are sick.
something's
I
wrong.
something's wrong, something's not right. So I can feel like I can get confused hearing them screaming here and there, but that when they stay quiet, I assume that they are sick. So it's something that you get used to. You'll be like, and I watched this video. When you hear kids screaming out loud, you will not even move an inch just to check what's going on. But when they stay quiet, you cannot continue what you're doing. You have to make sure you are going to check what's going on. So
Hmm.
it takes the patience to take care of this more than 2 to 3 kids. It takes a lot of patience because it's not easy. And
There is, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you. There is one comment here. Someone, it's saying, do you have any secrets for easy labor?
for some reason I don't know. I I think it depends on every woman's body. If all of us we have different body, that's why we always have different labor. So for me, let's say on my first baby, the first child, I got a chance to speak to this white woman. She's the one who gave me some tips that I even tried to tell some other women's, which I don't know, I
Are,
think they
are you
helped
are you
me
talking
because
are you talking about that woman who talked a lot in Hawaii? I forgot her name.
yes, Haley.
Okay, Haley. Okay,
Haley.
there we go.
Yeah, I
Okay,
spoke to that woman and
sorry,
I
Haley.
started
You
using
might you
those
might listen to
tips.
this video. I don't mean it. I don't mean it in a bad way. You are very very good woman. Go ahead.
Yes. So the tips that she gave me, it's what I use until this moment. But if you wanna know more about it, you will have to inbox.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some things, because this is the channel that kids can listen, anybody can listen. So there's some things to talk about, and there's some other things to talk in private.
Yeah.
So you are
Sure.
welcome to reach
I agree
me.
with
I
that.
can, yeah, advise you on that, give you my tips. It might help you or not, but you can just try it as I did. And that's what I
Right.
use in it all with all my kids. Yeah.
If you are watching this on a Facebook, you can just inbox me, and then I can arrange how you guys can communicate if you want more information on how you can make it easy for you on the labor day when you go to uh, when you go for labor at hospital. So, and following up question, we were speaking about that it's not easy to raise kids, and especially here in the United States, where kids and parents they grow they they grow up apart. And one thing that I want to mention is this. I don't know if we struggle the same way with other people. In Africa, kids used to be so disciplined, but in every church that I have went to, in African church, kids are crazy, including mine, including mine. What is wrong with our children when it comes to the church services? How is it that our kids cannot stay still, cannot be well behaved, and follow up with the service at the church? Just like we used to be in Africa, we were very disciplined. A child in Africa can, in Africa, the services can last 5 hours. Not in America, where our services, if it's too long, is about what, 2 hours. But in Africa, they can go from 10 a.m. to what, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and then a child would follow along all service. But what's up with our kids here in the United States?
I always ask myself the same question, but I feel like,
Yeah.
in Africa, we had the freedom. We had a freedom. We will wake up, go and play with the other kids, come back when we are hungry, which means we come back home when we are tired. We don't have time to do this and that at home anymore. But here, from morning to night, if they don't have a school to go to, they stay in the house. It's more like they're trapped. They don't do that much activities that we used to do. So that's when you take them out. Let's say you're going shopping, you're going to church, you're gonna have headache. You're gonna have headache. Trust me on that, because they feel like they are free now. They have been imprisoned. So for some reason, so they feel like this is the time to run around, to talk out loud. That's what I think. They don't have that much freedom we had in Africa to go out and play, do so much activities that makes us tired, and they come back home and they just sit down and they stay quiet. But here, they spend a lot of time in the house, a lot.
So you're saying that when they go to church is their only free time, so they
They
can
feel
do
like it's a
whatever
free time.
they want to do.
I feel like
Mm.
they take it as a freedom. Finally, I'm out. It's like taking a mini store. Me, when I take a mini store, it's like I'm giving everybody a show. It's like I'm giving everybody a show. It's loud. They enjoy just keep running around, but thank God that they have those cards that I just put them in order to
So that
control them.
means we need to get them out more often, pretty much.
Yes, so they can do something that can get them to get tired and they come back in the house when they're tired.
That way
They
they can
won't have the
see
time to run
normal when they go
around.
back to church. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I got married. We were very young, very much, very young, and getting married at a young age can be very challenging. What are some challenges have you encountered along the way as a wife?
Being a wife is different. You become a new person. When you're at home in your parents' house, uh, you're gonna say, okay, I will cook. Another person will wash dishes. Another person will clean. Another person will do this and that. But when you become a wife, You need to know and understand that you're coming to build a home. You're coming to support your husband. You're coming to become to be a helper. So it takes a time to get used to think, what are they eating today? What are we eating morning, afternoon, night? It's something that you have to think without anybody telling you to do. Um, which is why some women still struggle. They still I feel like they are doing too much than what they are supposed to do. But as a wife, if you know that you're a wife and a mother, you need to expect that to happen, because it's something that will happen. Uh, if you have a husband can support, but you do not expect him to always be in that kitchen. You do not expect him to always
I
wash the
don't cook.
dishes for you.
So yeah, just so everybody knows, I don't cook. I'm never in a kitchen. If I'm in a kitchen, I am there to eat. And if she's in a hospital, I do a lot of McDonald's. I can cook, tea. I can just boil water and put some tea thing in there. And I used to cook rice in the past, but I think I forgot how to do that.
How many
Um,
times?
I don't remember. I don't I don't remember how many times, but I think it's a been a while. I haven't been. I would, because when men cook, they cook better than women. I'm sorry, women, if you're listening. I don't mean this in a bad way, but
True that.
it's when men cook, they cook a lot of better. And I wish I knew how to cook, but I am
It's
bad at
not too
cooking.
late.
It's No, it is way too late. I'm too old for that. Very busy. I don't think I have a time to learn how to do that. But again, um, yeah, it's I might struggle if she's not around. But thanks to restaurants, we can we can survive. We can move on. But yeah, no, go ahead. I just interrupted you. Continue.
Yeah, he said he's never in the kitchen. I think the last time I saw him, I did not see him actually. Actually, I wish I should be. I could have been around to see that. When I had my first child,
Oh yeah,
guys,
I think I
he
did
needed
earlier.
food. He needed food to bring to the hospital. And we were in Hawaii, where we were surrounded with the white people, and living around white people, everybody's minding their own business. It's not like here, you give a birth and you see like if have people coming to see you, bringing food and all that. So that time he had to do something. So he was like, okay, I gotta cook rice. What should I start? Water or oil?
It is what it
Guys,
is.
I laughed. He was like, should I start water or oil? So I told him, start with this and this and that. So
It's a
he
struggle, but
cooked
we can do it.
he cooked rice and the beans. I'm telling you, I enjoyed that food because it was from him, and it was the first time he cooked for me.
And the
I
last
enjoyed
time,
that. Yes, the last time. He's not
yeah,
lying.
and never again. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. But other than that, he does a lot of work. I don't think he even have time to get in that kitchen anyway. He leaves home very, very early morning, and he come back home late. Even when he come back home around 7 or 8, he still have a lot of work to do on the computer. And I do not complain because I understand
So,
him. I
what do you
really
tell
understand
about those
him.
women who complain that their husband don't support them on the cooking? They feel like both of us work for sure, and I do agree on that one. A husband and a wife, we all have jobs, and and sometimes a wife comes from work and cook for husband and kids and rest and go back to work in the morning and come back again and cook and do the same thing. They can feel overwhelmed. I'm like, why is he not helping? Why do I have to cook? I mean, I work too. I go to work. We both have a job, and well, what do you have to say about that?
The only thing I can say about that, it depends on what the husband is doing. And it also depends on why the wife is complaining. Let's say the husband does not have a job. He just sit there and they watch football. and you are there fighting with the kids, cooking. You cook for him, you clean for him, you do everything for him, but he cannot take a second to help you. That's why some women's complain. But complaining, it's not the solution. Complaining, it's not gonna fix things.
Mm.
I will say that our role as a wife, as I said, it can be easy if you understand what you're supposed to do, and it can be hard if you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not here to change the man. We are not here to complete the man. We are here to love them and to respect them. Um, give them the respect they need from you. Treat them like they're king. Treat them like they're the head of the family, and the God will do the rest. If you need him to change, do your work as a wife and let God do the rest for you. Um, because when you try to change him, that's when the problems start. That's
Mm-hmm.
when the quarrelsome will start in your marriage, and it's not gonna end well. Let's say the husband, like mine does not cook. Why would I even complain that he did not cook for me? But even though he cannot cook, he does help me to clean around the house. When I'm not around, he does not sit there and wait for me to show up and come back and do everything. He does use his time and help me around the house. So he can cook, but he does a lot of things, other things in the house. But if you have a husband who does not support you, it's not your job to change him. Even if you try, it's not gonna work. The only thing you can do your job as a wife and pray to God. Just pray that He will be the one to change your man. He will be the one who can show him to be your support as a husband.
Mm.
Because not all husband gonna be grabbing a broom and they sweep the house. Not all men's gonna be there and they change their baby's diaper. Not all men who gonna be doing that. But take over your job. Do what you're supposed to do. Pray God. He's the only one who can change that man for you. Um,
It's,
that
it's
will help
only
you to
prayer
avoid
and
the
your behavior.
problem. Yes, and the patience,
Yeah,
because
takes a
you
lot of
can change
patience.
him. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And if you are a man listening to me right now, it's not always that easy. And I wasn't always that person. I struggled in the beginning, as I said. Getting married at a young age is not that easy. You learn a lot along the way. You learn about some mistakes here and there, and things. When you allow God to do that, things are gonna change. We take a time, but things will change. But again, let us not harden our hearts. Let us, loosen up a little bit. Let's loosen up and find a way to support one another, one way or the other, especially around home. As since we both have jobs, we gotta support one another. Me and her, we work at the same place. We own our business, and so we work together pretty much. We see each other every day, either at work or here at home. So both of us are not just sitting around doing nothing. We are all busy, doing this and that for the sake of the families, for the sake of the future of the this Kaburungu family. So it's find a way to support. It's not gonna be that easy, and something you might feel like this is the woman's responsibility, but just because it is their responsibility does not mean you cannot chip in and help. That way they are able to do other things. It's again, as I said, it's not going to be an easy road, but it's always go, especially Africans. We African men are a little bit too stubborn and to support things at home, wives, children, stuff like that. But let's loosen up a little bit. And this is our home. And as the king of the home, you own the home. And if the wife is not around, you own the home. You gotta do something about that home. It's not just gonna stay a messy home just because there is no wife around. You want to make sure you keep it clean. You want to make sure you keep everything's always organized. And they are there to help you. They are your helper. So, and as a helper, you're supposed to run everything, the kitchen, if you know how to cook, house cleaning, laundry, and children and everything. You're supposed to run everything, and they are there to chip in and help. But you are supposed to come. You are supposed to be in the front. You are supposed to be out there running thing, and then she's out there behind you, supporting you as you run things um, at home. And that brings me to my question of a business. What do you do that my viewers can maybe support you? We I do business. We all do business. We work in the same building. We own the building. We own the business. But what do you do aside from being a mother and a wife and a pastor's wife? What do you do to bring in money at home?
Um, I started learning how to make clothes, sewing, mostly women's and some men's, not all, but it's something that I put myself in and
Obviously, we
learn.
don't buy a lot of clothes, but women do. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, of course, women's are not like men's. We cannot wear one dress for 5 weeks
it's
straight or
possible. It's something you guys
days.
put yourself in. You need to change. It's possible to wear one thing, over and over again.
I
It's
don't know, you men's, I
something
don't
we
know
have to
how you
learn.
do it. I don't know how you women's do it. But yeah, women's
We
love
are human
clothes,
too.
but it doesn't mean that we don't need it. We need them. We need them, and
For what?
if we,
So
but
you can
only
have
if
a
we can afford it.
boutique in my room.
I don't have a boutique actually. This is not enough, guys. But he's right. Us women's we love clothes, and any woman who has said that they don't love clothes, I don't understand. But women's love clothes more than men's. But and I don't see anything that's gonna stop us. But coming to that, some women's does not he put them in a spot where they make their husband feel like they're not supporting them, especially if you know your husband is dealing with something financially. You need to know when to step down on your shopping. um and that's how we lose the respect to our husband, because we don't understand. We love clothes, but it depends on what's going on at home. It depends on the income that's coming in at home. If your husband said that he have this project that he's working on, it's your job to support him. It's your job to help him. It's your job to making sure that he reached that goal, not focusing on your beauty and your other stuff. Um, and coming to one of the question of
Yeah. What?
what mistake
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
of the mistake that us women make the most. Let's say you're still dating. You need to understand in that moment your future husband's project. His project in that moment is to make you his future wife. So he's gonna be taking you out on a date. He's gonna be buying you gifts. He's gonna call you 24/7. He's gonna text you all the time. But once you become officially his wife, he has other project he needs to reach.
Priority
And
changed.
yeah, it changes. So in that moment, he starts thinking about getting promotion at work, buying a house for his family, you and the kids. Uh, he has a project on having kids and how to take care of them. So you will see
Mm.
that the things that he used to do before, he does not do it no more. That's where we make a mistake by start nagging. Hey, you don't take me out anymore. You don't buy me this and that anymore. You don't call me or text me like how you used to anymore. You need to know that you're not the project in that moment anymore. You were his project before,
To
but
get
right
you
now,
home. That's it.
yes,
And
now
I
you're
already
there.
got you. What else do I need?
Now you're there. So to make things easier for you and him and have a happy marriage, support him. Support him reach his other project. Support him reach his goals, because it's not just his, it's for the family, your and his family, your marriage, your kids. He have so much to accomplish with you. It's different than when you guys were
And I
dating.
think that's where they get it wrong. They think he's doing it for himself, but they forgot that everything that we are doing is for the family. Okay, and it's the wife would benefit, the kids would benefit. Of course I would benefit too. I'm not doing this for nothing. I will benefit, but also the wife will benefit, and the family is for the family. But sometimes women can feel like he's more focused, about himself. Projects are like, we don't buy cars like you guys do, we don't do things like, but it's we want to make sure the family has a stability to the point, if we are no longer in our body, but the family and the wife and the kids are stable. They can continue life without the husband around.
Yeah. And then that put us in a big trouble in a marriage. We start struggling. We start feeling like, oh, I should have been married to this man. He does not care about me anymore. Instead of focus on what the next project is, what other goals we need to reach for the family. And another mistake that we make as wife, let's say you are making more money than your husband. Most of women lose respect to their husband. You start seeing him like he's useless. He's not doing more much as he used to. Like he's not enough. You start talking to him anyhow you want. Let me tell you something. Whether you have a business and he doesn't, you are making more money than he does. He is still your husband.
Yes.
He is still the head of the family. He's still the king of the family.
No matter how poor he is, like me.
No matter, no matter. Because the money you're making, it's not just your money. It's the family money. The money he's making is the family money. So there's no reason to disrespect your husband just because he's not making enough. He's not making the same amount that you're making. So some women lose respect, and that's when you start saying that your husband does not love you anymore. Of course, that's because you don't see him as your king anymore. He don't feel like he's doing anything for you that so he can see that he's the man of the house. You need to make him feel like he's wanted. You make him feel like a man of the house. You have to, because once you respect him, see him as the king of the family, of course he's gonna see you as his queen. Of course, he's going to give you the things that you desire. Of course, he's going to give you the time that he can make for you. He's going to do what you need as his wife. He's going to see you as his wife and the queen of the house. But if you lose respect on him, yes, things going to change.
Mm.
Things going to change. The love he had for you, it's going to go slow by slow. Because
Yeah.
you want to take over. You are showing him that you want to take over the home. You are taking his position. You are showing him that you're better than him. So no matter what struggle your husband is going in, you have to continue you are respecting him.
So
You should
coming
not.
back to sorry, coming back to our question, it's I mean, we talked, you guys buying a lot of clothes and things like that, and using money in a way that we shouldn't be using, and those little mistakes. But coming back to the business, you have not mentioned yet what business you do, and when you mention what business you do, tell us a little bit, where does the income go of the business that you are doing?
Yes, I'm sewing. I'm making clothes. I get clients here and there. And yes, I'm always busy actually. Always busy. But My husband is doing some other business too, but everything we're making is the family income.
Okay.
The money he's making, the money I'm making come together in one income for the family, because whatever it's gonna be used for, it benefits me and it benefits my husband as well and the kids. So as a wife, it doesn't mean like since you have this business, your husband have to deal with his own income. Bring your income together as one. It's gonna be easier for him to take over the family or to lead the family if you are supporting him. He cannot do it alone. He cannot move forward when he's the only one doing everything in the house. Some women feel like well, as the Bible said, men's will sweat to get to feed his family, and the women's will be stay home doing this and that. Right here in the US, it's different than Africa. As a woman, if you sit home and let the husband do everything by himself, it's gonna be hard for you guys to move forward in life.
Hmm.
It's gonna be hard for him to get the house that's gonna be big enough for you and your kids. So it's how
So do you prefer couples to have separate accounts or one account?
one account. Cause
Okay. Why?
one, why two? Because the money you're
Because
making,
some women are afraid the husband might be not a good spender, and if the husband controls all the money, and they might just be spending it on the things that they are not supposed to, or they are spending it on one agenda that the wife might not be involved at all. What do you say about that?
it depends on what kind of project he's working on. Let's say he's investing in a house or in a business, but in order for you to say that you need your own account, it depends on how he's using your money. Only I will say, let's say you have the husband who go out with the other women's. All the money you guys are making, it's doing things that does not benefit you or the kids. You're even struggling more, though you are working. That's when some women's think about having different account. But if your husband, he's using the money to build the business that support you and your kids, or investing in the house or any project that he's doing, there's no reason to have two accounts. Because for me, the money I make, the money he makes, it's our money. The business that he's building, it benefits me and the kids. I always feel like everything we're doing, everything we're building, every business that we are working on, it benefits the kids. It's the the future. It's the future for our kids. And we are having a lot right now. I feel like we need actually to do more so we can invest in more things that's gonna help the kids in the future. We might not always gonna be around, but we have to have something for them. Okay. But
Yeah.
some women do and have their own account and not get involved in anything that has to do with the house. There's a man that I know that his wife works, but she cannot contribute. It can contribute in the bills or some other stuff. He struggled by himself. You are being hard on that man. You are really being hard on that man, and though he took you in as his helper and you're not showing that you're trying his patience, but sometime he might lose that patience because you were supposed to be there as his helper. You were supposed to be there to support him. You are supposed to be there as his spouse, but you are there minding your own business. We love clothes, yes, and but you need to communicate with your husband on how you spend your money. You can even talk, have a conversation, how much you need to spend a year or a month. not making your own decision without your husband knowing. You get a check and boom, it's gone. What did you buy? I bought this and that. There's clothes, there's shoes, there's a bag. Do you know how he feel? He feel bad. He
Yeah,
feel bad.
Timu, Timu,
Shen,
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming.
Uh, we
Before
need to
I
include
leave that,
Shemez on that one on that list.
before I leave that topic, as a husband as well, I would like to say something. You took your wife away from his parents. They were the parents who were responsible for what she wears, what she eats, what she do daily, how and now she's in your hands. Yes, she was your project before. You have to know that she is still your responsibility. If you do not support her, um the clothes that she used to get from the parents, you need to know it's now your responsibility. Just because she's there, you should not just think that, okay, she's already there. It's not my responsibility. I have to do this and that. You need to continue taking care of your wife. Make sure that she gets what she needs because she's in your care now. She's
Yeah.
not in her parents' care. She's not going to go back to her father and they say, hey, mother, father, I saw these shoes, I saw this bag, I saw this dress. It's your responsibility. Don't wait for her to ask for it. You need to know that if she's working and bring the income in the household, she's not putting it aside. You need to know what's on the wire. She needs this stuff. She does not have to beg for it. And some women struggle. They do struggle. They have a husband, but they feel like husbands does not see them anymore.
Mm.
Meaning they do not care for about them anymore. They just see, yes, the bills are important, the business are important, but always know that your wife is your responsibility right now. That's for the men. Take care for your wife. Love your wife. Make sure that she's getting what she's supposed to be getting from you. Don't forget about her. And
Mm.
that's when they start, some women, that's when they start thinking about having their own accounts, not sharing with you. But that's because you're not supporting them. So you need to make sure that you're doing your job as
Yeah,
well
but also
as
make
husband.
sure there are no secrets account, whether from the husband or from the wife. Some wife might have a secret account the husband does not know, or husband might have a secret account the wife that does not know. So I think for me, either way you do it, whether you're gonna have a separate account, I really don't care of how you do it, but it needs to be communicative. It needs to be communicative. You, husband and wife, needs to communicate, need to know. I prefer one account for sure. It's my preference, but again, how you guys want to do it, I'm not gonna interfere with your marriage. Every marriage is different, and that's what I always tell people. Just because we are doing this doesn't mean you will do that. Okay, your husband is a different man than I am, and your wife is a very different woman than my wife. So each marriage have their own principles that they need to follow. So you guys need to sit down, have a principles. Okay, this is how we're gonna do it. This is not according to what Pastor Seth is doing. This is not according to what other families are doing or other marriages. This is our family. Okay, focus on your own family. That's it. Don't focus on what they are doing. And many things that not just women, also men. Oh, this wife. I saw this wife doing this to her husband. Okay, okay, that is that wife. If you want that wife to do, go marry that wife. Go take that wife from that husband and get her. Get her in your house. Don't compare women. Don't compare men. People are different. What they do to their families is different than what you are going to do to your family. So make sure you sit down. You kind of communicate. Oh, this husband, they do this to their wife. Okay, that's that man. Okay, if you want that man, then go get that man. Okay, but this is who I am. So sit down and make sure you guys are on the same book, on the same page, on the same principles. the same on everything. Make sure you agree on everything and set your own principles, not according to what you saw other families are doing. No, set principles according to who you are, who you guys are, because humans are different, people are different. That's why you should have a different principles, not according to what you have seen other people do, but what you would like for yourself, and also how you know your husband or how you know your wife. I just wanted to add on that one. I don't know if you had anything else to say on now.
The only thing I can add on is that women's your husband might not be doing this and that. Um, you just need to be patient. You just need to be patient,
You need to work
cause
him out. Everything
yeah,
needs to be worked out. I don't
have
think leaving or divorcing is gonna be the answer. You're gonna divorce a lot of people. Sit down and work it out. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. Everybody have their own weakness. You might leave this person and for this reason and go to another, they're gonna have their own weakness too. What are you gonna do? Keep living? No. So it might take time for your husband to be the way you want, or it might take time for your wife to be the way you want. But always, it's really good to have a communication between you two. You need to talk. You
Yes,
really
and
need to talk.
one of the fans also mentioned that on Facebook, that communication matters. Yes.
Yeah, see what he likes, see what she likes. Put it together. See what you need to do to make both of you feel comfortable and they're happy in that marriage. Because if everybody wanna do whatever they feel like doing, whatever they like, it's never gonna end well. It's never gonna go well. Um, you might struggle today, tomorrow might be brighter. It might be
Yeah.
better. It might get better. It's not always the what you have to make you to understand that you're not always gonna be happy every day. Of course, there's gonna be some challenges here and there. Uh, this preacher said, if a wife and a husband spend a month or two without arguing, they're not okay. They're not fine because that means the
They're not
husband
communicating.
never. Yeah, the husband might see what the wife is doing wrong, ignore it, keep it in his heart, or the wife might see what the husband is doing wrong, keep it in her heart, which is gonna come out one day, and it's gonna be way bad. So you have to communicate. Your husband is not always gonna agree with you, or your wife is not always gonna agree with you with what you're saying or what you think or your ideas, but you need to communicate. Give each other's time to understand. Don't rush into making decisions. You have to give it a time and support each other. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's it. And thank you guys for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you have, thank you very much for your support. If you are watching this on Facebook, happy on YouTube. Okay, happy on YouTube. Kaburung Show Live. And as I mentioned today, my wife is my very first guest of the many that I'm going to have. And if you would like to be my guest one day, please just inbox me. Let's talk because I want to come back to these topics in the future. I want to talk to many wives over there, many husbands over there, and we will talk about this because a lot of marriages struggle a lot. You know, I'm a preacher. I preach in a lot of places, and I see this struggle in a lot of marriages. And most of the things that I have noticed is communication. You know, the couples are not communicating, and something that they saw they did not like, they kept in their heart, and guess what? They're gonna start making decision on their own without involving the other spouse, and then things start, you know, yeah, getting chaotic in the future, and ends up in a divorce, ends up in one spouse being hurt one way or the other, and it's never good. So always make sure if you see something is wrong, communicate. Yes, some men are not that communicative. You tell them they did this wrong, you're gonna end up in a bad situation. It's all right. Okay, at least you got it out, and find help. There is always help. If there's no way you can communicate, two of you, find help. There's always help out there, and things might turn out okay. It's just I will come back to this in the future and discuss of the mistakes, if you stay single right now, of the mistake single people doing, before they get married, and finding themselves in a lot of trouble after they get married because they did not follow up, some principles you need to follow up before you get married. And after you get married, also there are some principles that we need to follow up. I made those mistakes, she made those mistakes, we made those mistakes. And so we want to make sure no one is repeating those mistakes, that especially our children and your children and other generation. So we're not going to repeat those mistakes. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see if she has one more things before I speak. Before I speak of the last things that I want to say. Do you want to say anything to our viewers? One more thing you would like to just get it out of your heart.
First of all, I want to thank you all for your support, for always joining us in our live or watching our videos. Thank you for subscribing, sharing. Uh, we are here to teach each other. We don't know everything. If you have ideas, if you have any comment, just let us know. What would you like to be changed? What you like, what you don't like. We really need to hear those comments. We need to know what you think. And also, women's out there who are struggling, be patient. Don't leave your home. It's not gonna be easy. It might take a month, a
The help
year,
is on the way.
years.
Jesus is on his way. Yes,
Yeah. And I'm sure my husband mentioned that we were not always perfect. We are not always perfect. We
we're
do
still
face
not.
some struggles. We are working on ourselves, making things better, but we're not ready to give up. We're not going to give up, but with God, we're sure that everything will go well, everything will work out. And but one last thing you need to know: divorce is never the solution.
Yeah,
It's not the solution. You might leave him or you might leave her and end up with the worse than the person you left.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's life. What goes around comes around, right? It's how it is. And one thing I want to mention is this. You know, I always compare marriage as the relationship we have with Jesus Christ. And if you read throughout the Bible, Paul always emphasizes this, that not only Paul. If you read in the Old Testament, God says, I am the husband and Israel is the wife. And if you see the relationship between God and Israel, it's a very bad relationship. It's a mess relationship. It's very messy. Okay. It's always, but God loving Israel, even though Israel is not perfect, God running behind Israel. Israel goes around, Israel goes there, Israel goes here, Israel do this. They go worship other gods, they do this, they deny God, face to face, they do all that kind of stuff. But God always runs behind Israel. I need you back. I need you back. God knows Israel is not perfect. God knows Israel it's a mess. And I'm not saying husbands are always perfect. I'm not saying wives are always perfect, but my point here is that your spouse is not a perfect person that you have, you thought they would be. But love them like Jesus does. And Jesus does not love me because I'm perfect. Jesus actually loves me because I'm a mess. If I was not a mess, there's no reason for him to love me. He loves me because I'm a mess. And he wants me to know that there's nothing I can do to earn his love. Nothing. There's nothing that I can do for him to love me the way I want him to know. He does that not because of what I do, not because of the relationship that I have with Jesus, because of who he is. And we should do the same thing in our marriages. I should love my spouse not because of what they are doing, not because whether they are satisfying me or not, whether they are perfect for me or not, whether they do well for me or not, but it's for who I am. I do this for who I am, not for what she is, not for what he is, but for who I am. And if you are a wife, just love your husband, not for what they are, for what you, that shows who you are. It shows your character. It shows your heart. It shows your personality. It's not about your husband. It's not about your wife. It's about who you are. It's about who Jesus is. He loves us. He loves us because of what he is. Not what we can do, not because we worship in a church. Hallelujah. We sing very well. We go to church every Sunday. We never miss any service. No. He loves us for who he is. That's who he is. If you love me on conditions, that's who you are. So you're showing me that, okay, this is who you are. If you love me for this and that, okay, that's who you are. And then that might change me. Not in the way that you desire. It might change me in a way that both of us don't desire. But if we love each other for who we are, not for who our spouse are, trust me, things will pick up. Because a lot of times we focus on the other spouse than ourselves. Is this what I want? Is this what I want to do? Is this the decision that I want to make? Not because of her, not because of him. No, how would I treat myself? Is this what I would do if it was me? You decide according to who you are. And I'm gonna come back to this in the future and preach on and speak on it on episode. If you subscribe, you're gonna get that video in it pretty soon. And I might have some guests too coming up. I'm not saying that my wife, this is going to be her last, time with me. Should we come back? Should we come back here live? Hopefully in the same room with me if I get everything organized. And I do apologize for that to her and my viewers that I wasn't able to, get everything ready. And that's why we were late. But technology, technology always happen. And it's a good thing too that we did not start at 6 because out of nowhere, the power went out and came back. So meaning we could have just ended this without any, without saying goodbye. So God always worked things, the right way. So, and I'm glad we did not start at 6 because power went out, around 6:30ish. And then, things could have gone way differently. But thank you for coming, and thank you for watching, and thank you for commenting, and thank you for your support. We are here so we can learn from each other. And as she mentioned, we are not a perfect, marriage. We do not have it's a mess. In my opinion, we have a very messy marriage, and it's not what I always wanted. It's not what she always wanted, but looking from the beginning to now, I see Jesus. That's all. I don't see me. I don't see her. I see Jesus. And that's all that matters for me. And if it wasn't for Jesus, I don't think I would be here. I don't think me and her would have, stayed together for this much, for this long. But because I've allowed Jesus to intervene, she has allowed Jesus to intervene, and things are getting better and better. And things will not always be perfect. There will never, something I need you to understand, someone who's watching me, they will never ever be perfect. Okay, you're gonna have good moments. You're gonna go, on vacation. You're gonna do things. You're gonna have happy moments. We always have, sad moments, angry moments. Fighting moments. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. I need you to think of this. Think of your relationship with Jesus. Is it always good? Now, Jesus is always good. Jesus is always perfect. He never changes. He's the same way yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But are you? Are you the same to Jesus? Jesus is the same. But are you always loyal to Jesus? Are you always the same to Jesus? No, you're not. So it's going to be the same thing with your spouse. It's never going to be perfect. But guess what? Jesus picks you up. No matter how messy you are, he picks you up, he welcomes you back. You went and do some stupid stuff out there, you come back, Jesus, I'm sorry. And Jesus says, okay, I'm here. I never went anywhere. I was always here waiting for you. You are the one who went away from me. You are the one who went and had fun with Satan. He came and lied to you, and you said, no, you did whatever you did, but I'm always here. And that's what we're supposed to do. It's never going to be perfect, but guess what? Jesus is always there for us, and we should always be there for our spouses, no matter what. For me, divorce is not an option. What I advise you to divorce your husband or your wife if things get worse, I would. Sometimes I might, but I'm gonna let it be your choice. I'm not gonna tell you divorce them. No, I will. In the counseling I have done in the past, I've never tell a woman or a man divorce. No, I let it be their choice. You make that decision, and I always make sure they understand what I stand. I do not stand on divorce. I do not support divorce. But if you feel like this is something you want to do for your own good, please go ahead and do it. But make sure you are making the right decision that you're not going to regret in the future. But for me, divorce is not the option, because that's what that's what God says in Malachi, that that He hates divorce. He hates divorce, and that's why He always runs behind Israel, because He does not want to leave them. He does not want to abandon them. He loves them. He loves Israel, just like He loves us. He does not want to leave us hanging. So it's not always about your spouse. It's who you are. Think about you. Think about who you are, and let God do it for you. He will do it. Don't try to change. It's the mistake that I did, trying to change her into what I want instead of letting God do that for me. And I'm not saying she is what I want 100%, but she is becoming the person. And I hope I am becoming the person that she wants me to be. I might not be what she wants, but as long as we allow God, Jesus, to do the work in us, that's all that matters. Everything else, business, ministry, anything we do outside the marriage will come after. But we want to make sure we are praying for our marriage, we are praying for our family, we are praying for our children, we are praying for our spouses. That should be our number one goal. We might not be always there, but when we are out there working, ministering, let us have them in mind, remembering them in thoughts and in prayers. When we come back home, let us always be glad to see them. Show gratitude to what they do, even the little thing. Show gratitude for what they do. It matters. Because when you show that gratitude, okay, one way or the other, especially for African husband, is something that I struggle with. Okay, I think she received flowers from me twice. Um, although we've been together for almost more than 10 years, and I've only done that twice. Um, it's it's not because I don't want to. It's who I am. Again, I focus, and I think she understands that's who I am. She knows who I am, and even if she does not see anything from me, she will understand it. Not because he doesn't like me. Not because this is he doesn't want to do it. It's who he is. He is stubborn in that way. Okay, and she loves me in my stubbornness. And even if she tried to change me, she can't do that. It's me who should change myself. It's God who should help me change myself. But loving me for who I am give, gives me the opportunity for me to change. Even though that I'm stubborn, one day I say, okay, come on, do something. And then I try to do something, because I've seen how patient she is, and I've seen how appreciative she is, even if I'm not doing what she desires. So always find that moment. And that moment matters. That moment matters. So love them no matter who they are, no matter what they are doing. It's not gonna be always easy. It's not. It's not going to. It will never be. But divorce is not the option. I repeat, divorce is not the option. Unless it has to go that way, okay. But if there is any way to save it, save it. It's worth saving. Trust me, it is worth saving. And 20 years, you're gonna be like, I'm glad I stayed. I am glad I'm here. Okay? Because I've seen a lot of divorced couples. Trust me. 95% of divorced couples, they regret of that decision. They regret of what I spoke. I don't know everybody, but of the people that I know, 90% of them, they regret. They are happy with their second marriage for sure, but they, they're not as happy as they would. They are just getting used to it. You know what? I don't want to get divorced twice or three times. I'm just gonna. Now they are trying to learn how to keep that one instead of learning the first time, right? They should have done. They should be doing that the first time, trying to stay. Now they are trying to stay in a marriage they don't want to because they already left the first one. Yeah, just gotta deal with it. It's how it is. Because you can't go back to the other one. Because the other one moved on too. So yeah, thank you for watching, and may God bless you, and thank you for your patience. And I will come back next time. I have many other good guests that that I'm scheduled with. So stay tuned because we have a lot to talk about. Yes, we have a lot to talk about, and we will learn a lot about marriage, about money, about ministry, about business, about children, about everything. So stay tuned. I'm gonna be announcing pretty soon. Pretty soon, this the first week of May, I'm gonna have another guest that I will be with on this show. To speak about a lot of things. I don't want to spoil that show right now, but I will let you know when time comes, and I will announce it, and we really have fun. So thank you for having fun with us, and may God bless you. We love you, and we care about you, and we hope you do the same thing to us. Right? We know we know you love us, and may God bless you, and stay safe where you are. You want to say goodbye to them?
Yes. Yeah, I want to thank you again. And the women's keep loving your husband even though they don't know how to say I love you. Keep loving your husband even though they don't give flowers as much. Keep loving your husband even though they don't know how to cook. Just keep loving him, and God will teach him that. And one day they will surprise you and say, I love you. They will surprise you and they bring the flowers that you always wanted. They will surprise you with the magic gifts. But just keep giving them the
In 30
respect they
years, yeah.
deserve.
Just keep waiting. 30 years.
Yes. Yeah, just keep doing your work and God will do the rest. And may the Lord bless you.
Thank you very much. May you have a wonderful day where you are. In the name of the Father, Holy Spirit, and the Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.